gentlemen, welcome to Gamer Grudge X.
Things are off to a great start. Okay. They can hear me, but they can't hear you. Just wanted to vocalize that for the audience. I mean, we hear you.
There, they can hear me now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Gamer Grudge. I'm Mac. Hopefully you can hear me now. Um, um, let's.
They can.
You can hear me now. Hopefully you can hear me now.
Mhm.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Gamer Grudge. I'm Mac. You don't know me. I'm Mac, aka Tampa Buck Fan 88, and this is me. And if you don't know what if you don't know what Gamer Grudge is, what the fuck are you here for? You should know what the show is. This is the gamer debate show. If you don't know, by the way. So I'm your host, and joining me is, as usual, the lovely Mist. The lovely Mist. The lovely Mist.
Move on.
Huh?
Move on.
Okay. And Scott. The lovely Scott, if you want me to call lovely Scott.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, because I got some slack not calling people lovely. And we usually as usual we have two victims that we pop up every time. They are fighters. These two fighters have fought their way to the semifinals, but there can only be one to go to the championship round. Let's go ahead and talk about those two fighters. We have one person who literally fought his way in the first round of the first episode. He has gotten this far. He's argued a lot of crazy shit, and he went to a PvP round to get the job done. Give it up for Mr. One Mike.
Hi, folks. I'm here to get violent and to argue more crazy shit.
There you go. And last but certainly not least, he is also another fighter. I have kicked his ass in plenty of fights. He also kicked mine too. And he is also on one of our shows, one of the hosts of Black Film Talk, Mr. Loveless.
Damn, I can be lovely? That's crazy.
Well,
But yeah, woo.
You said there's love in your damn name.
Yeah, just make it an oxymoron. Make everyone confused. It's fine.
Point. All right, guys. Before we get started, you know what we got to do. We got to talk about the rules. All right, so I have a little screen to show you the rules. Now, if you're arguing about it, that's me talking about it, so don't worry. You're going to hear it, because we got to go through this, because some of you got to know what the rules are. All right? So we're going to play these rules, and we'll get right to it. We'll see you back in a minute. All right, here are the rules. The rules are there are 4 questions per round. The person with the point is awarded to the person with the best argument, not the best answer. If it was the best answer, then this wouldn't be a fair matchup. The fighter with the most points will win the entire fight. But if there is a tie, we will move to a PvP round. There are 5 phases in Gamer Grudge. First phase is the introduction phase, where you just state your answer. That's all. There's no answers, no nothing. Just give us your answer and move on. Phase 2 is the declaration round. This is where you argue your points for your answer. This is not attacking nobody else's answers. You are simply giving us your reasoning for your answer, and you get 3 minutes to do this. Phase 3 is the grudge round. This is where you tear down the argument, but keep it above the belt. But you know, this is where you literally just tear down the person's argument. Tell them that their answer is strictly bullshit. Phase 4 is the last minute question round, where we give you a last minute question, basically either to give you a rebuttal or we have a question set up for you. 9 times out of 10, we're probably going to give you a rebuttal, but we try people here at Gamer Grudge. And phase 5 is cleanup and fact checking and the verdict of the round. Back on. All right, guys, there we are, people. We are here. We have literally gone over the rules. All right, with that said, people, we need to start this off. We need to start it off right, people. Are you ready to grudge?
Hell yeah, brother.
Fuck yes.
Thank you. That's all I wanted in life. All right, guys, let's go ahead and play the montage.
Time again mention how annoying and how terrible of a character Claptrap is. However, I will give you a couple things. The R2D2 reference. If Claptrap and R2D2 were anything alike, I would actually shoot myself.
I'm into that.
Well, Mrs. Batman would literally go under the mistletoe and she would look at him and it's like, wow, you're a big fan of Batman. Yes, I am. Mistletoes can be deadly when you
All right. Enough with the Batman references.
Game right here. Is it a bathroom game? Yes, it is.
Ready to run! I still gotta fix it. Look,
the red line underneath the word means fix it, okay? It doesn't mean add.
This is bull. Okay, guys, we're here, people. We played the montage. There we are, people. All right, let's go with question number 1. Mist, I'm gonna let you read question number 1. So let me get it up. Question number 1.
Question number 1. What is the best zombie game that is not Resident Evil?
All right, it is on the screen right now. There you go. All right. So we're gonna start with Loveless, and then we're gonna go with one Mike. So Loveless, what is your answer?
I keep interrupting you, but I keep saying I chose the Dead Space remake.
All right, hold on for a minute. Let me get it bigger. There we go. Dead Space remake. I don't know if that's the remake because they don't got no gifts of the remake. I guess I don't know, but you know. All right, one Mike.
Oh, for me, it's the original Dead Rising. No remakes.
The original Dead Rising. There you go.
Sounded a little shady how you said that. I like it.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. There you go. All righty. Let me go back to the other screen. All right. You have 3 minutes on the clock. Mist, are you ready with the clock?
Scott, are you ready with the clock? Because
No, I'm not.
there's a whole other host back.
Okay. Scott.
Wait, was I supposed to have the clock?
Yeah, Scott, can you do the clock? 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
To be fair, can I? Yes, it is saved on
Yeah,
my
yeah,
phone.
yeah, yeah,
But
it's
Mac, there's a whole other host.
All right.
I do not have to do everything.
All right. Scott, 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes on the
Got it.
clock, Scott.
3 minutes. All right, and go.
All right, big bet. So, when you think of, you know, zombies, what it's usually associated with is the horror genre. And of course, you want, that feeling of terror and that feeling of hopelessness. You want, it's always fun to kill zombies, but sometimes you want things to actually be a threat because it's not a scary game if nothing can ever hurt you. And that's where Dead Space Remake comes in because I think it perfects have showing you how dangerous and how spooky like a zombie game could be. Let's break it down. First off, we all know Dead Space. It's a fantastic, trilogy from beginning to end, in my opinion. Horror of, you know, gameplay and all that good stuff. However, the remake takes everything that the original does and streamlines it and makes it so much better. Like the atmosphere alone is so haunting, so terrifying. Where it's like everything in the game can kill, and if one wrong move, you're dead, and you can't get careless. And those kind of games where it talks about zombies and surviving, like this, the ship that you were sent in to kind of help fix. Excuse me. But like when you keep all of that in mind, you realize that, dang, these zombies are actually pretty fucked because of like their power set, the way they multiplied, the way that they even came to be. It's so ugh. It makes fall. And on top of that, like I said, the gameplay, the gunplay is A1. The fact that they can still make you feel that kind of terror and making you stay on your toes despite you having a gun that you can use to shoot things, I think it's just a masterclass in gaming, and that's why I think that's one of the best. And that's it. I give up the rest of my time.
All right, cool. Time's up.
Okay.
All right, well, Mike, you ready?
All right. Go.
All right. So my choice was Dead Rising, the original. And pretty much this is my choice because it personifies everything you look for in a zombie game. You get the wackiness, you get the open world sandbox, and you also get a nice story arc all in one game. One definitive zombie game. Not kind of a horror game, not kind of a shooter, a zombie game where you can run around, causing destruction, saving people, putting on funny costumes, decapitating zombies, doing pretty much whatever you could imagine wanting to do in a zombie game and having that freedom without being stuck on a linear path or any of the sorts. But you also still get the story. And you also still get to feel like you're a part of something, like you get the atmosphere of that post-apocalyptic end of the world zombie terror without being too serious. And why do I say without being too serious? Because let's be honest, when we talk about a zombie game, end of the world, it's fantasy. We want to have fun, but we do want to be spooked or, have that level of excitement for sure without going too far from the fun. And that's a big reason why I chose Dead Rising as the best zombie game because there's a lot out there. Of course, the question asks for non-Resident Evil, but there's still, quite a bit of options like Dead Island and things along those natures. What sets Dead Rising apart is that it gives you everything in one. As I mentioned, the story and also the gameplay, which to me is some of the best gameplay of any zombie game that I've ever played or known of. Speaking of that gameplay, you can drive vehicles, I mentioned the decapitation, you know, with the physics and things like that. The zombies aren't just you see the blood, you see them splatter, you see a lot as you want to see in a zombie game. And a big point about that is the number of zombies. Now, nothing, you know, no hordes or anything like that, but it gets pretty close. Okay. So you can run right through them with vehicles, chop them down with any weapons you can find. And the weapons get pretty freaking insane, from condiments, hammers, shovels, boxes, shelves, whatever is pretty much in the game can be used to
And
destroy
time.
a zombie.
All right, guys. We will now. I'm not going to gallery mode because there's two of y'all. I'm just gonna mute my mic. Scott, we're gonna have 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, true.
So you have 5 minutes to maim, kill, and destroy. Try to keep everything above the belt. That's all we ask people. And another thing, have fun, people. Have fun. I'll ask this. Mister, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Scott, are you ready?
I am.
All right. Scott, tell them when they're. Scott, you're in control.
What if I just never let them go?
Well, I mean.
All right. And Gurge.
I think this game is automatically disqualified because it's a remake. And I think off stream we kind of touched on why that's a tricky thing when you talk about the best zombie game not named Resident Evil. And I think you could agree with that, Loveless, to be honest. Could you not? Oh,
Loveless, you're
I'm
muted.
sorry. This is
I
a
realized
date.
I
This
was
is a
muted.
date,
Oh
right?
my god.
Oh,
Oh my god, I was going off.
I'm like, where'd he go?
But I
I
was like,
hear him all.
I was like, okay, so with the remake thing, I was gonna say like they do it, you know, that's the thing about good remakes. Like they did twice and they improved on it.
There's no
And you know,
such
last I
thing as a
checked,
good remake,
improving
though.
is not a bad thing.
There's no such thing as a
It's like
good remake, especially when you talk about, in this case,
when they
a zombie game. I mean, you essentially got
I
the
was like,
same thing, you know, the
but
same,
why are
they
we
released
talking
the
about a
same game,
game
polished it
like
up,
yours where
and
the
named it a
zombies
remake.
are pussies? They bring
Pussy?
no,
Are you
they
kidding
weak,
me?
they trash.
But the sheer number of them, and that's not what hold on.
So
That's
the
not
only
what a zombie apocalypse is about. It's about fun, using your
yeah,
imagination and doing whatever hell you would want to do to kill these
yeah.
zombies. They don't have to be fucking
In a game
strong.
aspect,
This is an I Am
absolutely. But the
Legend.
thing
It is
about like
post-apocalyptic
game when you see
zombie
zombies,
sandbox fun. Not no linear horror story that doesn't know if it's post-apocalyptic or the future, doesn't know what it is. It's a fucking game with an identity crisis, if that you want to give it that. But
I was like, well,
it,
first of all,
it,
we ain't gonna say dead space. Having an identity crisis like the first
the
one, nah.
remake, we're talking about
Like
the
the re,
remake. See,
like the
that's
re,
why
yeah.
you
It's like we're
should have
talking
stayed
about.
away from,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like whether we're talking about the original and the remake, they're really just one. So why what the better version? Not to mention
we're
the fact,
talking
not
about
to
a
mention the
game
fact
that
that
set a
that's
tone.
the fact
It
that
set
the
a
zombies
tone.
are weaklings. That's the thing. Like when you talk about zombies, we talking about this horrible, terrifying thing that if it happened in real life, half the population would, you know,
I,
crap their pants and cry and all. It's terrifying, and you want things out there that actually can kill you, that can actually
Okay, so
take
let
you
me
out.
ask you this. You wouldn't be terrified if you were swarmed by unfathomable amount of zombies?
If I
Or
can, if all
would
it
you be
takes me
more
is a push
terrified if you
to
were
get them
on
off of
a
me,
spaceship
you
with
dang
one
right I ain't
zombie,
scared.
one pussy ass zombie that's hiding and shit and don't know if it's a zombie or an alien? Come
It's
on.
like,
Come on, be for real.
no, bro, like
Talking
that's
about,
not.
like,
See,
when I saw
that's
that
the
answer, I
thing.
was more like, dang, I hope they give him a chance to change it. Like, that's pretty fucked up. We're over here
Nah,
comparing an open world sandbox post-apocalyptic game
talking about an open world
compared to a
sandbox where the
linear
zombies don't really do much,
horror
and you're more
slash
focused on
shooter
what
story. Like,
clever
what is
things.
that?
That's the
The
thing. Like the
question was
game
non-Resident
more
Evil
on what
zombie
funny
game.
things you can
That's
do
what we're
than the
talking about.
actual zombies itself. While my game focuses on the zombies, that's the main aspect of that. Why are they like this?
Your
Where
game
do they come
focuses
from?
on
And the more
aliens.
details they
There's
do it,
so
things
many
ramp up.
disqualifications here. Your game focuses on aliens. Let's get that out the way now. How do you know they're
Does
zombies? You know the zombies in Dead
because they
Rising
could
are
have.
zombies
I
because
mean,
they
one, they
look
can
like
affect
zombies.
other people. Like it's very provably that a lot of the zombies that are in there are infected by others. Just because they're not from this world doesn't make them not zombies.
I think by definition that does make them not zombies because
Because
that
like,
would make
because
them an
in order for us
extraterrestrial.
to do this,
By definition, a zombie is a human that was transformed
no, because
due to an
zombie dogs,
outbreak
no,
of
because
sorts.
zombie dogs are a thing.
Not Nintendogs. I don't know what we're talking about.
I was like,
Dogs.
we ain't.
We're talking
I
about
ain't talking about no
zombies.
city as the 10 dogs. I'm talking about like the fact that there are zombies, birds, and zombie. You know, there are all types of different zombies, not only just in your game or my game, but all
Hold
throughout
on.
media. So
I
just
just
to
thought of
limit
something,
it
a key
to only
point.
humans
A
is
key thing.
reductive, and that
A
talks
key
about how
thing in any
reductive your
zombie
game is
game is
because
a
it
zombie
expands
horde.
it.
Where's there a zombie horde in Dead Space? Please tell me. I'll play it. I'll stop the show and play the game right now.
They don't need a horde. If you
Oh,
that dude, if you
come
can take it
on,
by
Lucky.
yourself,
They don't need a horde.
horde for.
That's literally the whole point. When you think of as a kid, oh,
Time.
zombie game. Oh, is a horde? How can I run away from
It's
it?
time.
Time. I think this looked up something that I did too. I pulled this, looked it up, and she already got it. She probably looked this up. She probably. But anybody got a question?
Yeah, where's the horde in Dead Space?
Ooh.
It's like, are there any stronger zombies?
Okay.
I got nothing.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so what is the in different zombie game, like in Resident Evil, because we're all trying to literally try to say what is the non-Resident Evil zombie game, best non-Resident Evil zombie game. In any zombie game, there's always that big creature, that big zombie or that zombie that just appears to be, whether it's Mr. X or Mr. X or Nemesis or whatever the hell the zombies are in Veronica. There are different types of zombies, so we want to know what special character is. What is the best zombie? The best, strong zombie in your game.
So you're asking for like the big strongest like zombie in our game?
Yeah,
basically?
well, not like it's like a boss zombie. You know what I'm saying? A boss zombie or something.
Okay,
Who's the
okay,
best
okay.
boss
Like
zombie?
boss zombie. What is the more interesting boss zombie fight? Because you gotta get creative with them boss zombies. Even Resident Evil 4, they had some zombies where you gotta get creative to beat them. You need a certain weapon to do it or a certain way to kill them. You know what I'm saying?
It's like I think that would be the I think it's called the Leviathan. It was like around like halfway through the game where you have to go clear out the air because there's problems with the air. And it's just basically giant this giant wall with mouth and tentacles, and you have to like float and you have to like boost your way to different places in order to get vantage points and shoot at them.
Okay.
And you have to do that in order to get the air, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right. Cool. One mic.
To my recollection, I don't recall any specific boss zombie. In Dead Rising original, I do recall there being like a thing, where it turns night, things get a little crazier. So I guess that would be my answer. Other than like the boss battles that there are just really like psychopaths, which I think adds another great component, an in-depth component to the game. Because if it were the case in real life, there would be normal people as well who become very nefarious and crazy in their actions, taking advantage of the lawlessness. So yeah, I guess the psychopath bosses of just normal people, and like when it goes night, the normal zombies become more aggressive.
All right. Next, hit us with the facts. I already know one fact. Go ahead.
Okay, just for clarification, in Dead Space, they are called necromorphs. And the thing about zombies is, it's not a matter if they're human or not in turn. It's a matter of if the creature is undead, which these are. So that's why it's not disqualified, because
Yes.
the creatures in Dead Space are undead creatures,
Yes. That's why
which
we're
qualifies as zombies.
zombies. We're counting it as zombies. Yes, if you look up the definition of it, they are not. They would say, if you look up, are there zombies? They would say no. But by definition, they are undead creatures. Thus, they are zombies because I'm going by Evil Dead logic. Deadites. They're zombies technically to me, even though they can talk, speak, and everything. They're dead. They're dead. They're undead. They're reanimated. Thus, they're zombies. So I'm counting it.
Touche, but only because Miss said it.
Thank you. I mean, that's one of the big things is, yes, this is why it does qualify. This is also why technically The Last of Us would qualify too.
Yeah.
Because
It's
you
literally what I
end
was
up
thinking about when I made that argument.
you end up turning undead. Like the ultimate thing that affects you isn't undead, but it turns you
So
undead.
you're undead. You're technically dead once you turn. Yeah.
And the things that do it, if you're bitten by an infected, you turn undead. So tomato tomato, it's all the same thing.
Also, if we're going by that logic, then technically Resident Evil would be zombies, correct?
Yes.
Are vampires zombies?
No.
They're undead.
They are undead.
They are. Well, hold on.
I mean,
True. That is. See,
technically, by that definition, vampires
now
would
we're
be a
getting into like
subclass
a
of zombies.
circle of bullshit.
They eat flesh?
That is true. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Do they eat flesh, or do they just suck your blood?
Well,
I think it depends.
technically, okay.
I think that's a
Yes,
distinction without
I
a
mean,
difference.
the thing about not zombies. The thing about vampires is it does depend on which variation you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Technically, if you're talking about a vampire, vampire are sentient. Thus, I wouldn't count them as a zombie, because I would say a zombie would be mindless, I guess.
Well,
It's
yeah, no,
weird.
because there are some zombies. Because I think there were like some zombies that are like just straight up, like they can't think. It's just very basic.
It's, the
Like-
the word zombie is really.
And didn't it also happen in Walking Dead where some of them were actually a little bit smarter than the others?
See, this is where.
Yeah,
like I said,
that's
look,
towards the
word
end.
That's when we have to
is
get into
like-
the minutia of what a zombie
Okay.
is.
See, we gotta
What-
lean into the dead. They
What
were
is
smart.
Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's?
That's a.
I know in the first one he's just a corpse, but in the second one there's a voodoo curse going on.
David Scott, that's a damn voodoo curse of a damn
Yeah, but
song.
that's where zombie comes from. It comes from Haitian
He's a
voodoo
puppet.
curse.
We're
He's a
not talking
puppet
about.
at
We
that
go to
point.
Bernie's too.
We should always talk about Weekend at Bernie's.
Look, look. It's really look. If we go, this is the reason why I feel like it's just arguing that they're not zombies would literally go into a black hole. It would be a mess. So we're.
That's why I'm here, Mac. I take us into those black holes.
Well, you want to know some
Exactly.
black hole
We
arguments?
got to be able to answer these questions, bro.
Black hole arguments. Some black hole arguments don't work, Zach. Sorry, I had to say Zach. I know he's not here, but he uses that. He does that, but that's not gonna be going through that. So, anymore? I'm sorry, Miss. Sorry to interrupt. Still a good question. Still an open question. I like the discussion.
Save that for Halloween.
That is true. I should have saved it for Halloween. Missed anything else? I'm sorry.
I think everything else checks out fine.
You said what?
Everything else is fine.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna go first. So here's the thing about both games. So Dead Rising is literally George Romero's Day of the Dead. That's what it is. It's George Romero's Day of the Dead. That's basically what it is. You're literally in a mall and you're trying to survive the zombie apocalypse in the mall.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. Sorry.
Thank you,
Scott.
Sorry.
My bad. Dawn, Day. I know there's a difference. Day is the military aspect. Dawn is the mall.
Day, dawn, Sean, all the same thing.
No, they're not. They're all different. So
Mac, I know that.
Anyway.
Actually missed.
Dirty to Dead. Okay. So here's the thing. That's the thing about it. It's Dawn of the Dead, literally the game. And it's a really damn good game. The customization of how you can make different weapons is very good. The uniqueness of it. You literally have to survive a zombie horde. You literally have to just beat them up. It is fun. Dead Space is unique. It's literally like, okay, I want to do a zombie game, but I want to make it scary as fuck. And that's the vibe I'm getting from Dead Space. So it's like, which one do I want? Do I want to be scared as fuck if I'm playing a zombie game, or do I want to just play Dawn of the Dead? And this is tough. I'm gonna go Loveless. I love yours, but I'm gonna go with One Mike. I feel like his game, because of the customization of what you can do, and there's freshness to it because you're not out of something. There's something unique to it. There's a uniqueness to it, like the customization of the game, weaponry. It's interesting. You're never not gonna have fun in Dead Rising. Well, with yours, it can get, once you beat it, it kind of gets stale. Like, oh, well, I beat it, but with his, it's like, man, I didn't get this weapon. So I'm going with One Mike, but that doesn't mean he won. But, Scott, who you thought won?
I think I agree with you, because I feel like I heard more about Dead Rising's gameplay and I guess just more overall about the game than I did about Dead Space. And yeah, I also agree that like that's the type of zombie game that I would prefer playing, versus like Dead Space feels more like in line with like Alien.
Yeah.
Than like a traditional zombie thing, even though they are zombies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm going with
I
One
feel
Mike.
like Alien with zombies. Which
Also,
I'm playing.
I'm surprised that you didn't mention that you could get the Mega Man costume.
Oh, I know the Mega Man costume exists in that game. I didn't want to say it, but that didn't sway my argument. I just
Sure.
like the customization, and you can get different weapons.
No, but it wasn't brought up in the argument, so.
Yeah, it wasn't. If he brought that up, he would have won like hands down. Like won. Loveless had no chance in hell winning.
Yeah, I was like,
this for shits and giggles. Who you thought won?
I was gonna go with Loveless because you are wrong. You can get an alternate ending. So there is replayability in that game. It does not get stale.
So how many alternate endings?
yeah.
So yeah. Loveless, I got you.
This is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
got your back on that one.
Appreciate you.
Loveless, no,
I have someone in my court.
this is not Boulder's Gate. There's like 100 endings. There's one ending.
I don't care. I just say you were wrong.
Fair. All right. Well, with that said, one mic, you got that point. Let me add that point to the. Give you that 1 point. I can easily take this away if I wanted to be.
That's messed up.
How would you do that?
Because
Yeah, I was like, yeah, what? That defeats the
You're allowed to
purpose.
take points away
Do
now?
it, you
No,
know
I'm
what?
just talking.
I've been up
No,
against the
you know
odds
what?
before.
I'm taking over the show. Both of you win. Mac, you're fired.
Nah, I'm just playing. All right, let's go to question number 2. Scott, what is question number 2? Uh-oh.
What is question number 2? Question number 2. What is the best non-mainstream fighting game?
All right, cool. So this time, we are going to go with one mic, and then we're going to go with Loveless. So let me go ahead and get the question card up. Photos. All right.
While he does that, might I say, I actually honestly love both of your guys'
Oh, I love their answers too.
For all of the questions, I love both of your guys' answers.
But, one mic, what is your answer?
Okay.
None other than Def Jam Fight for New York, baby.
Yeah! Like that gift. It licked my ass with it.
Yeah, we gonna talk about that.
Yeah. Loveless?
Yeah, I chose Power Stone, brother.
Power Stone. I don't know if that's Power Stone too, but it's Power Stone. I know that for a fact. So
That's one of them.
that's one of them. I got it. I fixed it. All right. So Scott, you got 3 minutes on the clock.
I do.
All right.
I'm first.
Yep. You're first.
Yes. Okay. And go.
Oh man, where do I start, man? You know, it's funny. I almost don't even want to like make an argument for real. I just want to say like, Def Jam Fight for New York. Like, that's it. The name speaks for itself, man. But I'm gonna take y'all back to my childhood when I first stumbled upon this game. And you know, I was a young whippersnapper from the Bronx, so I was heavily influenced by hip hop and Hollywood and movies and rap and shit like that. You know, to the point where I started to look at some of those folks as like superheroes, you know, great people. And then, long behold, they put over 60 of them in a motherfucking video game. Now, I think only about 40 were actual, you know, celebrities, rappers like Method Man, Redman, Fat Joe, Freeway, Nori, who you see on Drake Trance now. Then you had, you know, some females in there like Carmen Electra and others. So it's just like an insane roster for a freaking fighting game. And at the time, there was really nothing like it. Now, there was a celebrity deathmatch game that came out on the PS2. I'm not sure if it came out before or after.
It was trash.
But other than that, I can't think of another game that had all of, you know, some well-known celebrities and hip-hop figures in a fighting game. That alone is like, oh my God, you got me sold. And then we get to the gameplay. The gameplay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the devs of this game have a wrestling background. So that should tell you a lot right there. They've developed some wrestling games from, I think, N64 and other platforms like that. But the gameplay, man, it's basically fighting with the crowd interaction. You can throw them into the crowd and have the crowd hold them up. So now you jumping Fat Joe with Sean Paul. It's like, just think of that. Like, how does that sound in a fighting game? Then you have weapons. The crowd can also pass through like broken glass, things of that nature. And get this, there's environmental interaction. You can smash Sean Paul's head in an SUV or throw Fat Joe in front of the 2 train and KO. It's like, what? This game was peak gaming. And like really just peak gaming. In my closing argument, I will definitely have to bring up the story aspect. You get all that fun. You get your favorite rappers, your favorite celebrities from movies like Danny Trujillo. And then you could throw all of them into a story, create your
Time.
own
All right,
play
Loveless.
through it.
I
It's
gotta call
not.
time. I gotta call time. Sorry, I want to get into that, but
Oh my God. I knew that would be tough to stick on 3 minutes, but all right, let's
No,
go.
it's all right. It's all right. You did good.
all right.
Loveless.
Loveless. So you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Show us the power stones.
All right, and go.
All right, so for those of you who probably are a little younger or just not as cultured, there is something called the Dreamcast, which was the last console that Sega ever made. And despite its commercial failure, it had a bunch of awesome, great, and I would say borderline innovative games. Such game is Stone, which, if you don't know what that is, think like just as a baseline. Let's start with Smash Brothers, but 3D. We'll start there. Now, it's not going to be Smash Brothers to Descent because you still have to take their health down to zero. But where it becomes more is that one, there isn't blocking. Instead, it's all based about platforming and positioning and things of that nature. And your goal is to basically collect 3 Power Stones to upgrade yourself into a super form, basically, in one of the as one of the many characters that you can play as in the game. Now, once you do that, you get all these extra powers and you become invincible. Like, there's one character who basically turns into the thing and he just chucks giant boulders that do ridiculous damage. Now, the fun comes in the fact 3 ever presented at a time. You have one and your opponent has one. And then another one is just gonna randomly drop on the stage. So in order for you to get that superpower, you're gonna have to fight and beat up your opponent. Not just with incredible moveset, but by using items that are just ridiculously fun all around the stage that just spawn. And so yeah, there's a couple problems like it prioritizes speed above all else, so you need to use speed characters in the game, and the stages are a bit on the smaller side, but it is that arcadey fun that we love to see in fighting games. It's that kind of thing where you can just kind of pick up and play. There's always going to be something funny that happens, something that is just ridiculous, last minute clutches, things of that nature. All with it being accessible, easy to pick up, easy to understand. And it's just overall just a great time. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Yield my time.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Scott's gonna put 5 minutes on the clock. Once again, do what you did the last time. Have fun, and we want to actually make this feel like a fighting game. So actually fight. And if you had to use your items from your preferable games, like talking shit or using power stones, please use them. So, Mister, are you ready?
Ja.
Cool. Scott, are you ready?
I am.
All right. You're a go.
All right, and Gurge.
Well, see, the thing with treating this like a fight is like I'm not a bully. So if Def Jam, if I was Def Jam going against Power Stone, I'd be looking at like a 2 foot weasel over here, and I'm like
Yeah,
some
that's what I'm saying. Like your game would be looking at a 2 foot
7 foot
weasel
behemoth from
against
like
my behemoth. Like
freaking
I
the
understand.
woods
I'm
or
glad we're on the
something.
same
So I
page
don't
with that,
know.
brother.
But if you wanted to get there, I would just say this. You tell me, what would be your argument against Def Jam?
My
Loveless.
argument, my argument for me is that it's too clunky. And at the end of the day, if you don't know about rap or hip hop and then grow with that, it does nothing for me.
Well,
Like Power
that's
Stone, you could
tough
say
because
whatever
rap
about
and
the
hip hop
characters and
is
the
a
genericness of the
global
characters,
genre.
but it's
So
easy to
you'd have
grab
to
on
leave
a
Earth to
variety. Like,
have more of a likelihood of finding someone who didn't know of rap, hip
yeah,
hop, or like
yeah.
movies
But this
at
is
the
but this
time
is you
too.
even assuming that I would even like rap or hip hop in the first place.
And
saying
I
I'm
can
wrong
make
for
an
not
even
doing such a
stronger
thing.
case
But
that
last I
Power
checked, a game
Stone.
should be open to multiple points of view, not just the ones that's like, well, if you don't like hip hop, then screw you.
What happens if you don't like funky ass stones and like weird characters that are just knockoffs of actual popular characters?
Oh,
Like
I'm
how
sorry. I didn't
Wayne
know
King
Indian
is just a
people. I didn't
knockoff
know
of
fucking
Goku.
Native American people were weirdos. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Glad
I didn't say
glad we have that
anything about
baseline
Native
covered.
Americans. I would never say
Oh,
anything
you
like
got
that. What
no,
I'm
no,
saying
you say
is
that
the
you said what you
characters
said.
of
No,
Power
we can just keep it moving.
Stone
We can
no
just keep it
one
moving.
knows of, and they're just knockoffs of actual popular characters. Whereas in Def Jam, you get actual known polarizing figures in a
Yep.
fighting game fighting. And in Power Stone, you get more of unknown characters
No, it's like,
around
but
a
you get
small
more.
stage
But what you
looking
lack
for
in those
weapons and
numbers,
colorful stones.
you get
Yeah,
in
that's a lot of
mechanics. Like you
fighting, if
have
you
stuff
ask
like
me.
flamethrowers, beam guns. You could just literally just use the obstacle behind someone chucking magic boulders. There's literally a guy who could do a kamehameha
Let
at
me
your
actually.
face.
A Kamehameha is from Dragon Ball Z, Loveless, not, and that's the issue I have with
Yes,
Power
and your
Stone.
moveset is from WWE. So let's not do that game.
But they're general, universal wrestling slash fighting moves
And
known to man.
a flamethrower is a general
But
used
a
weapon in
flamethrower is a
fantasy games.
weapon. It's not a fist. A fighting game should be with fists and not like, okay, you can have a bat or a little glass bottle,
First of all, that doesn't
something you
make any
find
sense
in a
because Soul
bar.
Calibur is a thing. First off, so
But a laser
that's the
beam
fuck in and of
shooting
itself.
gun, that's a bit unfair. How would you feel if you pull up to fight somebody and they got a giant rocket launcher? You know, like what the hell? It's not a fight.
I
It's a
collect my.
homicide. We're
I power
talking
up to
about
show them that
fighting.
thing don't mean nothing to me.
Well, we're
Because
talking
if
about
you're good, if you're
fighting,
better than them, then it
pugilism
doesn't matter what
between
they throw at you.
4 fists. That's all you need in Def Jam. And maybe you could use the crowd, or maybe you could use your environment, just like in a fight, not in a
Just
war
like
or
in
a
Power Stone, where
shootout.
you can use your environment to
And
help
then
you
we
out.
have these
Because on
stones.
top
Like,
of
what
that,
are
it's
these
a little bit more
colorful
tactical.
stones about?
Because keep in mind,
Like, that's
you cannot block in Power Stone. That's not a flaw. That is an intentional
another.
game
Oh my
mechanic
God,
to
you're
make it
making my
as fun as
case for
possible.
me. You can't block in a fighting game. How can you not block in a fighting game when
Because there's more
blocking
priorities.
is
Because
a
what you
fundamental to fighting? How does that work? I don't know. And another thing you mentioned, or honestly, I don't know that because I was going to give Power Stone a chance, but then they lost me when they expect you to be fast, but then the big characters are extremely slow. So
yeah,
it's like,
no,
are they obsolete? Every character in Def Jam has an equal chance of winning in any fight. And that's part of what makes a fun fighting game.
I was like, even then, it's like that's not. I don't even know if that's completely true, but that's besides the point. The main point is
I
that
mean,
when
did
you
you
look
not
at that, you
say in
want
your
fun, you want
argument
wackiness,
that there's a
and it's like you want to be
imbalance
able to
with the
have
fast
more
characters
of a
and the big
general broad
characters?
appeal than just people who rap.
You could watch movies and see half of these people. Like Busta Rhymes was in the Halloween. These weren't just rappers. These were known people in Hollywood. Not again made up knockoffs, not dollars general versions of Dragon Ball Z and Street Fighter.
Again, crazy that we're calling Native
And,
Americans
and
knockoffs,
the,
but
the
that's cool.
most
But
telling
like,
thing to me,
it's fine, it's
Time.
fine. But like, the point
Call it, guys.
about it
Time.
is
Trick or treat. Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Oh, for Power Stone. Okay, I see.
I said trick or treat, motherfucker. Anyway, anyway, anybody got a question? I'm surprised. Miss, you got one?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Who is your OP character and why? Because both of you have a pretty good roster here. So
Yeah.
who do you think is the OP character and why?
If I'm gonna go first, I would say Bone Crusher because of their size and how it matches their fighting style. And yeah, I would say Bone Crusher.
I'm telling you, I ain't never skate. All right,
Let's see. I would probably go with I I'm blanking on the name, but I think it's around Jung Lee because he's incredibly fast, so it's easier for him to either get stones, and his powered up version is literally shooting beams, which come out pretty fast and they're really hard to deal with.
All right. All right. This. Got any facts?
Okay, one thing I actually found interesting about both of these games is they're pretty even in terms of rating. They're they're not top tier, but they're actually pretty favorable in terms of ratings, which is interesting considering that they are very different styles of gaming or fighting games.
Right.
This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but obviously Power Stone does make a lot of references to like anime and Street Fighter, which I do off the bat. Marvel characters, blah 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 blah, and Def Jam is Def Jam. We know what they're referencing here.
Right.
Like it's very obvious through their cast.
Wait, LL Cool J's not on the roster, right?
What?
LL Cool J's not on the roster, is he?
No.
Why? What?
Fortunately.
They don't put LL in there. He should be in there. He's Def Jam. This is bullshit.
Well, you gotta ask him on that one.
That's bullshit.
What I find weird is Kimora Lee Simmons is on here.
Yeah, why she's on there? Where LL? I want
Right.
LL Cool J for
He had a brand that all the little hip hop girls were wearing.
Yeah,
It's like,
man,
Fat
get that
Farm
big ass
or
man on
something.
there and beat the shit out of people. You know.
Yeah, like something like that, I think.
But I also want to point out something. Mike, you were going pretty hard on Loveless about game ripoffs using the environment. Mortal Kombat, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, your game is not exhumed from or exempt from using tropes too.
I was gonna say a game that will not be named because it sucked, but you're correct. There's another game that did it too, and it sucked.
Don't get him started again.
Also, I could have sworn that Def Jam characters do like the Saiyan power up too. It seems like I've seen Flavor Flav do the Saiyan power.
What?
Oh yeah, they have like a mayhem. Like,
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. I just want to throw that out there that your game is not pure, brother. Okay.
Yeah, that moment where you just start yelling. Everybody know about that
yeah, my
moment.
shit got cut in it.
Like
Oh,
everybody know
Yeah,
that
I'm
moment when you
saying.
start yelling, you just unstoppable. Ah! All right, Mist. Seeing that you're our resident fighting game expert, you go first.
Okay. So, both of these games, you obviously cannot take 100% seriously. And I mean in terms of what they are, okay? But if I'm going to get into the wackiness of it, I tend to lean towards Power Stone because that was always kind of my favorite style of fighting game because of Street Fighter and King of Fighters and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go with Power Stone.
All right, cool. Scott.
Well, I've never played Power Stone before, but I do think going by the question, I have to go with Power Stone because I kind of feel like when Mike argued himself a little bit in a hole for me because him arguing that more people recognize the characters in the game to me went against the question of the best non-mainstream game. So for me, I'm going with Power Stone.
All right, for shits and giggles, we're all in agreement because I was gonna go with Power Stone as well. I love Power Stone. I love both of these games. Fight for New York is fun, but sometimes it can get a little repetitive. Power Stone just feels fresh. It feels like something that we didn't get. It feels like something I wish, you know, it feels more unique. It don't feel like a generic fighting game. You know what I'm saying? And you actually can go fucking 3D in this damn game. It's actually that type of game, and I like the fact that you can do that. So I gotta go with Power Stone. So yeah, Power Stone get the point for me. So we're tied, people. So yep, we're tied. Why nobody picked? Why none of you fuckers picked? Smash Brothers Melee.
How is Smash Brothers not a mainstream game?
Yeah, that's
That
bull.
is, yeah, that is true. That is true. Why don't I count it though?
Because it's mainstream.
Oh.
It's literally in the question.
It goes
That is
against
true,
the
that is
literal
true, that is
questions
true.
you asked.
That is true. Yeah. What is another mainstream? Well, why nobody picked Showdown Samurai? What that? Showdown Samurai, whatever that shit.
Samurai Showdown, which is a good one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have argued that one.
Yeah, Samurai
But
Showdown.
I think that one's kind of like tangentially mainstream because uh it's so closely associated with King of Fighters and
Right.
SNK in general.
See, that's the thing about this question because it's tough to literally generate non-mainstream games. It's really hard to find that big component. I mean, that's the question. What's the difference with a mainstream game? It's like continuously doing it. But yeah, I get it. But yeah, good question. Good answers. Going to question number 3. People, question number 3. I will read this one. So we want to know on question number 3. Sorry, wrong one. We want to know on question number 3. What is the? I'm feeling a little fun right now. So what is the best light gun / arcade shooter? So this time we're gonna start with Loveless, and then we're gonna go to one mic. Loveless, what is your answer?
I chose Time Crisis 2.
Fuck yeah. Time Crisis 2. One mic.
I went with the Die Hard trilogy.
All right, cool. I just want to let you know that it's in the damn game. I played that game. Oh my god. Anyway, Loveless. So Scott, you have a title?
I do.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Loveless. Go.
All right. So, when we think about rail shooters and like arcade shooters, it's like I literally just went to the first one that came to my mind, which is Time Crisis 2. Like it's the one where every time I go to like my local arcade, I still make sure to like put a couple quarters in and play that at least a few times, for the good old days. The thing that I love about it, for one, is that it has like warning systems to let you know whenever a shot is going to like directly hit you. It's co-op. I know it has the pedal, which you can use to like get out of cover to shoot. So there's a little bit of strategy involved, like with it, and then you can like put the release the pedal to hide behind covers to avoid bullets, reload weapons, kind of thing. And then there's even sections like where you can use the machine gun with unlimited ammo, just go freaking crazy with everything. It's one of those ones where it's like you don't really need to explaining a lot. I think it's just the pinnacle of rail shooter games, and I think it perfected from whatever the original was doing. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you.
All right.
Hold on, a minute 40.
All right.
All right. Cool.
All right. So, well, Mike, you're next. Whenever Scott says you can go.
Alright, go.
I went with Die Hard trilogy. Large in part because of the, I guess you say the, as we were saying, kind of in the last question, the mainstream aspect of it. Just the fact that it's backed by not one but multiple, Hollywood hits, such as the Die Hard series, and on top of that, you get a great game. Just from my experience from my scene, you get a lot of the action, immersion with the light gun, and also the explosions and voice acting, and even blood splatters that are seen on screen, which I think in large part takes it to another level when you add those two components. Just the fact that you have the movies for, the video game for such a great movies and classic movies, um, that people who may not even be into video games and just saw the movies and love the actors such as Bruce Willis, and just want to try the game, that gives it a certain like very strong mass appeal, over any other light gun game to my recollection, to be honest. Along with the aspect of that, when you talk about light gun games, this is one, yeah, it's found in cabinets and arcades and things like that, but you can also bring it home with you on a PS1. I believe it came out for, where you could hook up your own light gun, point it at the screen, and blast away. And I think all in all, it's just a great package, with the just the overall aesthetic of it, a lot of fire, a lot of metal, very masculine kind of presentation in that regard. I think overall, and that's what you kind of, expect from an action, packed light gun kind of game. And I think Die Hard delivers tremendously on that. And just to cap it off, essentially you get what I think is three games in one. You get a version for the original movie Die Hard, you get a version for Die Hard 2, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, which happened to be my favorite Die Hard movie. It takes place in New York. So, and they all provide different levels, different type of enemies, different, just atmosphere, so you don't feel like it's repetitive or just getting the same thing over and over again. Um, so yeah, just with the great, appeal of having it backed by an actual movie with real life characters and a story, things of that nature. Just awesome gameplay for a light gun, and the versatility. If you can find it in an arcade or at home on
And
the console.
time.
Cool. All right. Yippee ki yay, motherfucker. So yeah, same thing we did the last time, people. Five
Yeah,
minutes.
it's fight time.
Huh?
It's fight time.
It's fight time. So
Yeah.
it's fight fucking time. So guys,
You guys ready?
It's round 3. You better go out.
I was born.
All right.
All right, let's do this.
Scott.
Go.
Time crisis, time crisis, time crisis.
Yeah.
It seems like
Left
I
it.
might be up against it because the judges here love the game, but I for one don't really see the hype. When you talk about light gun and arcade shooters, I think you need that, as I mentioned in my initial argument, that mass appeal. Um,
Yeah. It's like, no, I get you, but it's like, thankfully, like when it comes to the rail shooters, like nobody really plays them for the story. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen to Agent whatever.
no, I'm not saying you play them for the story. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying you
yeah.
play them for that feel, like, oh, I'm John McClane, like I'm actually, because when that's the whole thing about a light gun is like you want to get that level of realism,
Right.
and it only helps that level of realism when you have actual content to go behind it, I should say, such as the movie, the character, the legendary character in the movie, like John McClane. And that's just something I don't see Time Crisis being able to provide. Um, and I think I didn't, it seems that it's known, but I thought you were talking about Time Shift for a minute. So it's
No, it's just like refresh my memory because I'm not. I won't pretend I'm fully. Uh, it's like I'm fully well versed in Die Hard. Do they have like some type of cover mechanic or pedal, or is it just you just gotta shoot as fast as you can and just hope you get them before they get you?
I believe it's shooting. I don't know too much about cover. To be honest, I didn't play. I never played the game at all. I just know it's better than Time Crisis, from what I saw. And
Like
with that being said, I don't think, the cover, maybe there is or isn't. I think I prefer not having cover and wanting to have that level of like, sense of danger. And
which I can
it's
see
a
where you're coming
light
from, but
gun
it's like
game.
the cover
You want to
does.
shoot, not take cover.
Yeah, but like the cover doesn't diminish the amount of danger. If anything, that gives the excuse to put more at you because it's up to you the time when you need to shoot on top of just shooting in general.
You
While
you
also
mentioned
making sure you
yourself
know that
going to
hey,
an
these bullets that are
arcade.
shooting right now, they may not hit you. And the point of it being, multiplayer on top of that is that you're able to get your partners back on many occasions. It feels like when I'm playing with my brother, with my friend, it's so easy to be like, okay, no, I got this dude that's coming at you, but you're too busy, focusing on the boss. Or like you come up with just
Mention
different
yourself that
strategies, and it's
if
just like,
you're telling me you'd go to an arcade, put your hard-earned money in, even if it's just 50 cents, and you'd pay to take cover, that's insane to me.
yeah, because we cowards out here, bro. What you mean?
Look, all I'm saying is that you pay to shoot, you pay to play. And in this case, playing is shooting. So I don't, that's kind of an argument against yourself bringing up cover, which I did notice the game had. And I
Yeah,
think
it's,
honestly, it's a bit,
but I think the fact that
flawed
you
in
couldn't
that
even
way.
tell that there was cover in the game speaks to how fun and engaging the game is. Not to mention, it's like you're not required to have another person. Another person definitely helps, but the computer I found tends to be more than enough to kind of make up for the weaknesses that you have as a single player.
No, I mean,
Because,
what I'm
like,
saying
two
is,
eyes,
in
two
this case,
human
we want to
eyes that
have
are able to
fun. You
perceive
want to
is
be
better.
moving around, aiming a gun, and doing all of that stuff, not necessarily ducking for cover or something and having to wait for another action to take place.
Yeah, but it makes
Die
that
Hard
part
gives you
more,
all of that that
that
Time
makes
Crisis
those parts
has, the
more thing. And not to
explosions,
mention, there are
the
sections where you're just
enemy
balls
variety,
to
the
the wall
shooting.
shooting, like with the machine gun sections where you're just going to town, just
It
all
sounds too
Rambo on
easy
these
and it
fools.
sounds like it can get boring fast. The thing that makes Die Hard good is the variety of levels. How some levels you got to be mindful of hostages, some levels the enemies are coming from different ways,
And the
not
cover mechanic helps bring more variety
not a
to the
cover
game.
mechanic. No,
Like
not a
it's
cover
a
mechanic is not going to deliver that
yeah,
level of
because it
excitement.
makes it to where every interaction can be slightly different because it allows for more
But are
player
you
expression. There's
excited?
some
It
people
can
like
be
me who are
different, but if
cowards,
you're
and then there's
bored when
other
it's
people who
different, that's
can
not
go
good.
guns a blazing,
That's
and you
not
just
good
cover only to
whatsoever.
reload your gun, like just cover so you can get
And
your
another
gun
thing I didn't
reloaded.
even mention is the sound.
All right. Good.
And I don't think we'll ever get to it.
Good questions. Anybody got a question? I think I got one. What was the best boss fight in each of your games? Because I know Time Crisis got boss fights. I know that for a fact because I played Time Crisis. All the Time Crisis, there are boss fights in that damn game. So Loveless, you're first.
You said the best boss.
Best boss fight because I know there's boss fights in both of these games.
Yeah, you sure is right. It was like one that you fight like right after the machine gun section. I can't remember the exact name. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I think I know the gameplay. What you're talking about?
Yeah, but it's definitely that game where you're like in the helicopter.
Ooh, yeah. Damn, that was hard. Yeah, that was fun one. Yeah, I remember
I never got past that. That's why I can't speak on it.
that. Put so much.
I never said I
quarters
was
in
good.
It's a quarter. It's a quarter country. I know. It's one of those type of games. So I got you. One mic.
To be honest, brother, I don't really know. I would say that when you fight Hans Grover, because I know that's one of the main villains. So
Mhm.
hopefully that's a boss fight in the game. But yeah, I'm not too sure about specific characters or boss fights.
Okay. Missed.
Okay, I was actually trying to look to see if Die Hard did have a cover system. I did not see that mentioned.
Yeah, I was like, that wasn't big. I generally just don't know.
It does not.
Okay.
I
I'm
played
not,
the game.
I'm not losing my mind because I'm like, I don't see that.
It does
anywhere.
not have a cover system. I played the damn game on PlayStation. It does not have a cover system. I did not want to say it.
Die Hard doesn't. You said?
Die Hard do not have a
Yeah,
cover
it
system.
doesn't.
I played that game. I actually, I'll get to it later. But go ahead.
Other than that, I mean, these games tend not to have a whole lot to them, so
Yeah.
like everything checks out. I mean, unless you want to hear about the weapons in Die Hard, because there's quite a bit.
Let's talk about the weapons.
Pistol, MP5, assault rifle, shotgun, M60, grenades, smoke grenades, flashbang. Good gracious. That's just the first game.
Jesus Christ.
He didn't even have that much weapons in the first movie.
He didn't. The second
This is the
game,
what if scenario.
Yeah, what if John McClane was Rambo in that damn Nakatomi Plaza? Really?
In that goddamn area. What if he just had that shit ready to go?
What if John McClane got a weapon drop?
Yeah. Like,
okay,
damn, I dropped a weapon.
by the way, the second Die Hard game is a rail shooter. So
Yeah.
throwing that out there. But that one had a Beretta, and an AK-47, and rocket launchers and fragmentation grenades. What in the world did John McClane do in this game? My goodness.
He had to save America.
Apparently not. He just had to save like certain parts of New York.
Scott.
That's it.
Scott.
Well, that's the third one.
Scott, we watched. Me and you, we know this for a fact. We watched all the Die Hards. We know for a fact he did not give a fuck about America. He only cared about Holly.
What are you talking about? Did you not see Live for Your Die Hard?
That was caring about his son. Live for Your Die Hard. Well, Live for Your God Die
He
Hard.
saved America.
He was trying to save his daughter.
Saved us all. Kevin Smith self.
Because Kevin Smith was in that game. All right. So, Scott, you haven't gone first.
Okay. I've actually played both of these games. I think I had the Die Hard trilogy on PlayStation. And yeah, I think I'm going to go with Die Hard on this one because there is more variety and there is more replayability with that. So I think, yeah, as far as like an arcade shooter, that's more appealing to me.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm going with Time Crisis. Here's the reason. I played both of these games. The reason why I'm going with it is I was originally going to do a Let's Make. Here's the reason why I kept myself. I was going to do a Let's Make It Better video on the Die Hard trilogy because there's so much fucked up shit in that damn game. The fact that you can't aim, the fact that Die Hard with a Vengeance is you starting off in a car, and if you don't go to the right direction, all of New York will blow up. Die Hard 1 is literally Die Hard is just literally Die Hard 1, which is interesting, but it's not really a rail shooter. It's just you walking around in the building as John McClane, and it's third-person shooter. It's really not even a rail shooter. It's not the only rail shooter is Die Hard 2, and that's not really that fun. So with my experience in playing that game, I had less fun playing that game. I had more fun playing with Time Crisis, so I'm going with Time Crisis 2. Miss, you're the decider.
Can I wave the flag? Because, like, isn't this the round where we just give the answer? You didn't have to do all that bashing, man. God
Simple
the
no if
fucking
it's
next
advice.
bag.
Hey, you still. Hey, this might pick you.
Huh. I'm really torn because I have played Time Crisis in an arcade. Okay, so I'm more familiar with this one, but I'm interested as to why John McClane is basically Rambo in Time Crisis. The thing is, I'm also torn on the fact that yes, he has more weapons, but there's no hiding feature, which kind of plays a lot into these types of games. You kind of need that moment of reprieve. Crap. Ah.
I also can fact this in the film, he does hide when he shoots.
Let her think, Mac, and stop bashing. You're already bleeding.
That's messed up, Matt, because duh, of course he's going to hide in the movies, otherwise he wouldn't repeat.
Yep, objection, Badger the witness.
They didn't shoot the glass. She's just swooshed. Hey, I learned German, so.
You know what? I should pull a Zach and say I forfeit my answer.
Come on, Nest.
Okay, which one would I actually? Well, that's not fair because I've actually played Time Crisis. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. Both of you are gonna give me a rebuttal.
Ooh, fun.
Give me your one reason why I should pick your game.
Loveless?
I would say a reason is just because of the cover mechanic. I really do think the way that Time Crisis does cover all that is ingenious.
There. One mic.
Before I give my answer, Miss, have you seen the movies?
Of course I have.
Okay. And damn. Fuck it. I'll say you should choose my answer because of Bruce Willis. Time Crisis doesn't have a Bruce Willis.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Oh my god!
Ah.
Oh my god! Great job, one Mike. I got to give it to you.
That's messed up.
For two of the Bruce.
I'm picking one Mike just because he made me laugh on that one.
Damn it!
God dang it! God dang it! That's messed up. I did it for Bruce.
I did it for Bruce. Oh, come on.
You know what? I ain't even mad. That's funny. That's just funny.
Do it for Bruce.
I was like, damn, I can't really say shit. He does got Bruce Willis. Damn.
You do got Bruce Willis.
I am curious though. So why did you ask if I've seen the movies?
Because it's nowhere near it.
I would have expanded and played more.
You would have bullshitted.
It's Pathos.
Oh, he would have.
Pathos.
No, you would have lied.
You would have lied. No, I would have said something because I was like, I played that game. There's nowhere near the source material. Nowhere near it. Like you could tell a Die Hard with a Vengeance. There is no chance that bomb was not doing that.
No. I was gonna say this. I was gonna say that it would give you a reason to like watch a movie. It would
Yeah,
transcend beyond the game. I was gonna go there with it. If
Yeah,
she
yeah,
has
yeah.
a-
That is a good one because it does make you want to watch the movie because there's no way it's like this.
Yeah, that much is true.
Yeah,
I can't lie about that.
Yeah. I actually would prefer. I prefer Die Hard Trilogy 2, Viva Las Vegas. I prefer that one over this one, but it's not a real shooter. No, it is a real shooter. There's parts in that game that is a real shooter. So you could have picked that. You never played 2.
No, I haven't played any Die Hard game. I got a PS2 like a few months ago, so I'm gonna be buying all of this shit now.
I mean, so hold on. You never played your damn game?
No, Mac, I just do my homework.
Honestly, he said that like 3 times.
He did.
Yeah, he just was too busy bashing my answer, and he didn't even.
Yeah, like,
I played the damn game.
In fact, I think he even started his argument by saying, "Okay, I've never played these games."
You gotta pick
Yes.
Duck Hunt.
I've saw the movies though. 3 is the best.
3 is the best. We agree. We're not fighting on that. Yeah. Some people on this channel think 3 is terrible, but
I'm just speaking as someone who hasn't watched the second or third one, only the first.
Let me guess. You think 2 is better than 3? It's okay. It's okay. But if you are, we'll find you. All right.
Just say it, see what happens.
Yo.
Okay, so one mic gets that point.
Yep. One mic gets his point, and Loveless,
You made me laugh.
Yeah, got lucky. One mic get that point, Loveless. You need this point to go to PvP. So let's go to question 4. If we're going to the last question of the night, or we might go to PvP. So let's see. So question 4. We're gonna go to the original person. Miss, what is question 4?
Cast a game character to play Spooderman.
Did you say Sporterman?
I said Spooderman.
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 Yo, Spooderman.
Everybody's favorite superhero.
Can we be respectful?
No.
Say his name. Come
No.
on, guys.
Peter Parker. Miles Morales.
Yeah, Hank.
Saw Spider-Man.
Yeah, Miles Morales.
Oh my god.
The first black Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Miguel O'Hara.
Oh, Miguel.
Oh, now we're getting controversial.
Yeah.
Man,
If you want to talk about it, let's talk about it.
fuck Miguel. He ain't even a real Spider-Man.
He did nothing wrong. Anyway,
Anyway, we're gonna start with for this one. We're gonna start with one mic. So one mic. Yes, I want to let y'all know. Yes, I have Photoshop on this one. So what is your answer? One mic.
The best answer, and that's Atreus from God of War.
All right, cool. So I want to let y'all see it on screen. Give you a chance to watch it. It's propping up right now.
Excellent work, Mac. Excellent work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
oh, beautiful.
I love how his head doesn't stay tracked onto the character at
I don't
all.
see it at all. There
Awesome.
we go. Oh
Awesome.
my god.
Oh, that's a masterpiece.
Yeah, no, it's like
Well
actually
done.
masterful.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is my best work. If Franny was here, she would literally say, take away the Photoshop, but I feel like this is better. This is like my mask, but I love it. Loveless?
Oh, I chose Kazuma Kiryu from the Yakuza games.
All right, there we go. I feel like that's better.
At least this one covers the whole head.
So, progress.
Yeah, progress.
A little bit. A little bit.
Progress. A little bit. Yeah. All right, so
Spooderman.
Spooderman. Yeah, these are definitely Spooderman. All right, let me go ahead and get to the next screen. All right, so one mic tell us why Trace should be the new Spider-Man. Scott, you got 3 minutes?
I do.
All right.
And go.
Well, for starters, his fucking genes. I mean, shit, his dad is a literal god of war at that. It's like, come on, this kid is like destined for fucking greatness. His mom was alright too. Lafay or something along those lines. I'm not sure if she was a god, but she was special. That's all you need to know there. He's got a god dad and a special ass mom. Aside from that, he actually has skills applicable to being your neighborhood Spider-Man. You know, friendly, I don't know, but he'll be a damn good Spider-Man. So we can just focus on that, right? He was trained by his dad on things like hunting, killing, physical things, right? Fighting, of course, and all of that stuff that, is obvious. That's what a superhero needs. But he was also instructed by his dad on philosophy, how to harness your anger, things along those lines that are the intangibles of what it would take to be a great Spider-Man, or really just a great superhero for that matter. And then, you know, when we talk about Spider-Man in the movies now, if not necessarily a literal Spider-Man, but just on the big screen, he has his look. He's not too far from Tom Holland, if you ask me, if you look at, or if you played God of War and knows how he looks, he kind of looks like a Spider, a kid that would play Spider-Man. Now, when you factor all that in, he also has a key thing, a very key thing, what I think gets overlooked when you talk about Spider-Man. He has the voice, a young voice, youthful voice, but it can be layered. He can get into those deep moments of like, you killed Uncle Ben and shit like that. So with the right voice, the right training, the right abilities, the right genetics, he wasn't bit by a spider. Fuck no. He was birthed by a god. You know what I'm saying? So he's got all of that covered. And that's what would make Atreus from God of War perfect Spider-Man.
Great.
So I got 20 seconds left.
Oh yeah, did I mention his dad is the fucking God of War?
We heard you.
Solid close.
We heard you, boy. We heard you, boy.
Making sure.
We heard you, boy.
You wanted to make sure that was, clear.
Yeah, we heard you, boy. Okay. Watch your tone. All right. So,
Loveless, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Go.
All right, so when we talk about heroes, usually we talk about people who are maybe strong, and of course, in the regards to Spider-Man, talk about someone who has all the things that a spider can do. There are a few men in this world that have the power of just being him. And Kazuma Kiryu is him, like to a T. How, may I ask? Well, one, he doesn't kill. Ignore the floating plane. He doesn't kill anybody. Ignore that. He is weirdly strong. He rarely loses a fight. Like, he's known to punch people so hard, he sobers up drunk people. And on top of that, when you talk about someone who is for the neighborhood, you think of Kiryu, who will sometimes go out of his way to help people. He'll have whole stories that are like 15-minute SpongeBob episodes with morals and shit about, maybe you should let them do what they want. Hey, if you like being a crime boss that also dresses up like a baby, that's fine. You don't need to force the other people to do that though. That's kind of weird. Yes, that's a real thing. Yakuza too. But outside of that, he's someone who has such a big heart and who just happens to, capture the hearts of every ally he's ever made. And on top of that, he's suave. He's cool. He's stoic. I know he doesn't have necessarily the same jokey feel that Spider-Man has, but last we checked, there are multiple Spider-Men in the Spider Universe. What brings them all together is not their quippiness, it's their heart. And with that said, I will. I'm ending it here. I'm tired.
All right.
I just like the fact that you just begun like, what is a hero? How you start like, what is a hero? Like, whoa, crap, we're going here. All right. Okay, so we have the boy versus
The man.
no versus the Yakuza boss.
Former Yakuza boss.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
was about to say that's not totally accurate.
That's out of context.
All right, cool, gotcha. Former Yakuza boss. All right, so Scott, you ready?
I got the time.
All right,
You guys ready?
You ready?
Let's get it.
Vince, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm very curious where this goes.
Me too. All right, Scott.
All right, go.
I'm trying to figure out how the hell you're
let's just
gonna
start there.
say a former gang member is gonna be a goddamn Spider-Man. Like, how the hell you gonna sell that to Disney? How you gonna sell that?
I'm sorry. One of the key traits of Spider-Man is that anybody can be underneath the mask.
Nah, that's some cliche shit that he says to be a good
Now I was
superhero.
like, no,
Everybody
we're
can't
talking
be
about the
no
king
damn
of
Spider-Man.
cliches. We're talking about the
And
man
not
who coined one of the
alone
famous
was he
phrases
alleged
out there.
gang member. He was a shitty gang member. Cause I did my homework on your Cura guy. He was at times too passionate. He shut down old people, and then when it was time to kill him, he didn't want to kill him. He did weird stuff like that. So he wasn't even good at his
And we
own
ain't gonna
job,
sit
and he
here.
wanted to bring him
That's the
into
thing.
Spider-Man. And
We're
he
not
only
gonna sit here and
made the
pretend like
damn
he hasn't
gang
done
off of
evil.
pity because they killed his parents or something. He had to grow up in an orphanage. Is that the kind of background a Spider-Man would have? No. A Spider-Man needs a strong foundational home
Exactly. Because if
with
he
a
shows
loving
them that
family,
anybody can
with
turn
a
their life
strong father
around,
figure to
it
teach
was
him right
him.
from wrong.
Because he shows that even throughout all of this, he is still willing to do what's right. And even nowadays, he runs his own orphanage. He's raising a little girl that he got from his crush after unfortunate things that had to do with like
That
10 million
sounds like
yen.
he's trying to get some ass, man. That ain't got nothing to do with him trying to be a
Nah.
Spider-Man. You see all
He
of these
loved this. He
distractions?
loved
You
this girl
see all of these
because
distractions? How you
because
gonna
he
be
got phone booths
Spider-Man?
for that. Like he got phone booths and all that. He's a meta coacher. He's gonna call for that if he wants some of that action. He
What
loved this
training does
woman.
he have? What training does he have? Tell me.
Training? Who needs training? He's
You
him.
said he's you said he's him. You keep saying he's him, but he only
Yes,
made a gang off of pity. How is he him?
he is literally him. I swear, because the difference between Atreus and Kiryu is that Kiryu stands on business always, every time. Without question, he stands on business.
He is
Atreus, Atreus is over here crying about
he is
little
at
things.
best a lackey for a known crime organization who let him in because they
Yes,
feel
who
like
when he
bad
later
for
became the
him.
boss, but he's so Himothy. He quit
He
literally the
said
same
what?
time he got initiated because
You
he's like,
said
I don't need this.
you
He
said he
took
became the
down.
boss. Say that again. He became
He
what?
became the boss for
Oh,
exactly like
so you
maybe like
want
an hour
Spider-Man to be a
because the
crime boss
same day
now.
that he took it,
So
he
you want
relinquished
Spider-Man
it.
to be a crime boss. What happens when all those little soldiers that are under him are
No,
looking for
because what
directions
we're
and he
saying is
got to
like
save a
we're talking
life?
about his past. Like we don't judge people based on our past. Spider-Man doesn't do that because Spider-Man has done some very questionable stuff in the past. let's
What
not
do you
sit
mean
here and pretend
Spider-Man's
like
done questionable stuff? Hey,
like
come on.
Spider-Man.
Your guys done
Nah,
questionable
Spider-Man
stuff, and
killed.
you trying to bring
Spider-Man
that
has
into
done
the Spider-Man thing.
so many things. And
Look,
last time I checked, Atreus really just ain't about that action. He really ain't.
whoa, that's not true now. How you gonna say a kid whose father is the God of War ain't about that action? Did he have
What?
some
So how you
training
the
and
God of
learning to
War,
do?
but you the
Yes,
God of beat
just
a
like
punk? Like, make that
Spider-Man.
make sense.
But he has that shit in him. He ain't him, maybe too young
Yeah.
to qualify to be
No,
him.
that's the thing.
But
No, that's the difference between
he's
your character and
boy.
mine. Mine has
He's
to learn how to be him.
he's
Mine was
kid,
born
whatever
being
you want
him.
to say. He's that kid. He's that boy. He's the boy,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Drake said.
exactly.
He's
Boy. But
definitely
what's a
that,
boy
and
to
he's
a
gonna
man?
grow
You know,
into
if we're gonna
being
quote
him
Kendrick
and being
Lamar,
a
what's a
perfect
boy to a
Spider-Man.
man?
I'm come on. I'm saying though, if you compare their upbringings, ask anybody, we can ask the judges. They'd say Atreus's background would more than likely make up the better Spider-Man. You got
Sure,
all of
his
this deity
background,
in your
maybe,
blood.
like,
You're being trained
raised
how
by a
to hunt,
parent,
how to
raised how to
kill,
hunt and
how to
everything.
control your emotions, how to handle these
Yeah,
intense moments that
learn
come
how to
with being
control his emotions.
Spider-Man.
How did that work out in the first game? He killed who again? And caused the war with who again? And then he released who? He
That's
released
not his
y'all.
Spider-Man life
He
though.
released what
That's
wolf
not his
in the second
Spider-Man
game?
life.
No,
That's
I'm
what's
like,
gonna he's
that's
gonna
not
learn
true.
from that,
Spider-Man just
and
doesn't go out
that's
here
gonna allow him to be
freeing
the better
beasts
Spider-Man.
that can destroy the entire
What is
universe
your
as we
guy
know
gonna
it.
learn from? He's
I don't
gonna learn
know.
from
I don't
shaking
remember
down
Spider-Man
old
doing that.
people for fucking extortion money and shit. That's what he's gonna learn from to be Spider-Man. Like it don't apply. Like maybe he should try
I'm
to be a
telling you,
villain
like,
first
he's
before he
a
tries to be a
reformed
superhero.
boss man, and nobody steps to it. Everybody who stepped to him
And
is
you
in the
still
dirt,
ain't
not
tell me
because
what he's
he
trained
killed them,
in.
but because of their old hubris. He
You
tried
still
to
ain't
help
tell
them.
me what he's
He,
trained in, what he's learned, what he's like. Come on, what he's done.
outs-
He wasn't
okay,
even.
we were
He
talking about
wasn't even like
fighting.
the top dog.
In
You
terms
saying
of
he
Time.
became the
fighting,
boss?
learn what? He learned it in the
Cut it.
streets.
Time.
Boys,
He came from a
time.
world where
Boys,
if you don't know
Time.
boys,
how to
shut.
Marcus,
Hey,
water,
hey,
Time.
hey, hey, hey,
time,
hey, hey.
Marcus.
Cut. Shut up.
Brother,
He, that was passion. I like it. We got
Getting
calm
passionate
down.
about Spooderman.
Yeah, it's Spooderman. All right, calm down on Spooderman. Damn, y'all going crazy on Spooderman. I got a question, but I want to make sure somebody else got a better one.
Way to shoot yourself down before you ask.
Can you think of a better question? Because I really think this is a good question.
I don't know what your question is to
Yeah.
think of a better one.
I was going to ask who's going to play your Uncle Ben.
oh, fucking Kazama.
All right.
He was the guy who raised them when they were in the orphanage. After he killed his parents. That's a whole thing. But he's basically a father figure to him that helped teach him the ways of being an honorable man. Out of everyone in the Tojo clan, he was one of the few who actually lived by an honor code,
Okay. All right.
and he carries and takes that shit seriously.
All right. Well, Mike.
It's a pretty tough question for Atreus because his uncle was killed by his father. I think before he was even born, probably. But I would say Thor.
Okay,
Not
cool.
like Thor, not like Marvel Thor.
Oh
like the
no.
Thor from the Norse mythology.
No.
Yeah.
I know.
Just making sure our viewers
I
are
know.
on board.
I believe me. I've seen gameplay. I know. Believe me. Miss Facts.
Oh boy. Okay. I might need a little bit of clarification because it's been a while, but I'm fairly certain Atreus' mom was not a god, right?
She
wasn't.
technically was.
I was like,
I don't even think it was technically. I don't think she qualified as a god.
no, she wasn't. She was mortal.
Um,
She had special connection, but she was completely mortal. So Trace is like Demi.
She was.
Yeah.
She was. She was a giant. I know that for a fact. She was a
Yeah,
giant.
she was
That's
a
a
giant.
giant.
that's what I was thinking of. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
she was
I'm
a
fairly
giant,
certain
yeah.
she was a giant
Yeah,
and not a god.
Yeah, and technically, but he got his godhood from Kratos. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
why
like
I
half
said
giant,
she's
half
a
god. He's
special
like half
lady.
god, half giant. That's right.
Yeah,
half
yeah,
god.
half guy, half
So-
giant. That's what he is. Yeah.
So
Yeah, because the second game was all about him.
Frost
to
giant
one
to be
Mike's
specific.
credit, he was not birthed by a god.
Point.
I'm just saying, he was not birthed by a god. He was birthed by a giant.
So.
Kratos.
So wait.
No, he was part of the conception process, but he did not give birth to
True.
Atreus.
True. Fair enough.
So Kratos
To be
fucked
fair,
a
you don't know.
giant? Oh, wow.
You don't know what Kratos is.
It could have been a dream
Kratos-
situation.
Kratos. You mean Kratos
I
got
don't think
along?
so, because I think even in the game they make it very clear she was the one who gave birth.
I mean, yo, what?
Nah, that's when he took it and just like, nah, I got this, fam. Let me take it.
Can you imagine? That'd be fucking hilarious.
But yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, he would have the ability to be a superhero, but yeah. I'm trying to leave my own personal judgments out of this one, but
Yeah. I'm. You did.
just for clarification, Kiryu is not a bad guy.
Does he do crime? Has he done crime?
If you want to go down that route, Atreus needs to go to prison too.
He does. He does. He does.
Do you really want to open that?
Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't do it. Don't do it. Leave it alone.
Because I can do a body count right now.
Yeah, Atreus is responsible for a lot of things that happen in God of War Ragnarok.
I think context matters.
Yes. To which I'm saying, Kiryu is not a bad guy. Do not make me open that floodgate on Atreus.
Yeah, he did a lot. Atreus did a lot of bad things.
Like Kiru, why not open it on him and dive into his past? It isn't so clean. Like
Atreus,
he opened the orphanage and all. Like he people up. You know.
What I'm saying is, despite appearances and what organization he's part of, he's actually not a bad guy. That is not his credo.
Yeah, Atreus technically killed Mogi.
Tell that to his victim.
Atreus didn't kill Mogi.
Do you really want to open that floodgate? Because there are reasons why, as Loveless said, he had reasons why he did what he did. He didn't go out of his way to harm people, unlike Atreus.
Yeah.
Look,
even in the game,
Atreus legit said, "We are God." He legit said, and I quote, "We are gods. This is what we're supposed to do." He did say that after he killed Mogi.
Did Spider-Man not have a villain moment? Like, is that not part of like learning how to
Once
control?
again, you are literally digging this hole. I'm helping you out. You're digging a hole. I play God of War. I know the fact that Atreus is not as good as he says he is. He did some pretty villainous stuff. So I'm just putting that out there.
Does that matter though? Then I was talking about the kid.
That's just
like,
for
you seem to be talking
clarification,
about his
because
adult life.
Atreus is seen as a hero type.
Yeah.
And Kiryu is not necessarily viewed as a hero type, but he actually is.
Okay. All right, anything else?
I'm confused.
Nah, because I kind of want to get to the judgment on this.
Me too. I'm gonna go ahead and go first. So here's the thing. I feel like with Atreus, he already has powers, and he's already brought up into this situation. I feel like this is a situation where if you were talking about, the second Thor or another Thor or something like that, Atreus is that guy. That's personal. Also, as an added bonus, he's Loki. He's literally in that mythology. He is Loki. So, spoiler alert, people, he is Loki.
Spoiler alert after the spoiler. I like it.
I know. But he is Loki. That is his name. He is Loki. So, technically, if you want to get technical, you're putting,
you're putting Loki as Spider-Man, technically. The trickster guy as Spider-Man, which, I'm sorry. Even with all the bad background it is, I feel like with Loveless, it feels like it's a situation where the character can grow and turn his wicked ways and turn better. Sort of like what Miles Morales is going through, because he did technically had a bad uncle and he could have went in a different route and he didn't. But this is sort of like him trying to build himself up, because he was just a troubled kid. Miles Morales was a troubled kid. He wasn't like a villain or something, but he was a troubled kid, and he grew into Spider-Man. He grew into that role. He grew into it. That's what I feel like with that character. So I'm gonna go with Loveless on this one. Miss, I'm gonna let you go next because you've been dying to go after this.
Okay. I'm going to tell you who lost me after the first few seconds of their argument. Mike, you lost me because as soon as you said what Atreus' pedigree was, you made it sound like just because he is a demigod, he deserves to be Spider-Man, when Peter Parker is nothing but a human at the end of it.
That got bit by a radioactive spider.
But I'm just saying, he was a human. He
Yeah,
wasn't
he was a
anything
human,
special. He was just a human. And Kiryu is just a human who is exceptionally strong. And that's due to his circumstances, just like Peter Parker is strong due to circumstances, not because of his background. Because if he didn't get bit by a spider, he would have just stayed Peter Parker. That's all he would be. And he knew that, and he accepted that. So, I'm going with Kiryu just based on that one statement that you said.
All right, well, it seems like we're going to PvP, but Scott, for giggles.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Kiryu. I don't think either of these are particularly good choices for Spider-Man, but I think of the two of them, I would probably lean towards Kiryu just because, yeah, 'cause he does have the human element to him, and like they are both kind of like they've made mistakes in the past, but like that's kind of key to Spider-Man also. So I think they both kind of have that element, but yeah, I think I lean towards Loveless's answer.
Right. All right, well, going to PvP. Let me go ahead and put this up there. Let's see what time. Damn, we just keep going to these PvP. This is, I don't know. This feels like every episode so far we have went to a PvP. All right, so what we're gonna do here, people? I'm gonna flip a coin. I'm gonna ask she that will not be named to flip a coin. So, what do you call? All right, call it.
He means
I'm
what do
calling
you call it?
Heads or tails?
Me?
Yeah, just both of y'all. Who want to get it first?
Tails.
All right. Alexa, flip a coin. Heads. Loveless, you're first. So
Yippee.
that means you could go first. You can pick to go first or last, or pick or just go ahead and skip that and just pick whoever you want to.
Wait. No. Let's do it in order.
Oh yeah. You want to go first or
Whether
last?
you want to go first or second.
I'll go second.
All right, cool. All right, Mike. Who do you want to choose your destiny? Who do you want to give you your final question of the night?
Mac, I feel more aligned with your thoughts at this present moment.
Oh yes!
My lord.
Yes! He's chosen chaos!
I feel like Miss is mad at me, and Yeah, I was gonna choose Scott, but I feel like I just need a. I don't
He's
know.
chosen
You
chaos.
got me,
I
Mac.
love it. I
I'm
love the
putting my
fact
trust in you, Mac. Do not fail
finally,
me.
finally, 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 finally.
What have you done?
Yes,
I'm
he
taking it
chose
there.
right. He's chosen
I'm
right.
I'm pulling out all the stocks for the championship.
And to be fair, I was not mad at you.
Oh, I know. I'm just joking.
All right. Okay.
Let's go,
Okay.
Mac.
No, I'm thinking. Pick a video game.
Pick a video game, Skyrim.
All right.
I don't know. Sonic Unleashed. I don't know.
Sonic Unleashed.
Mac, I really want to ask where you go with this because that was such a broad thing to ask.
Oh. I was gonna ask. Tell me why this video game should be cut out from the series.
Holy shit.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah,
I'm with it. I mean, I think that's yeah.
You're breaking my heart.
I just
That's
want to
why
let
I
y'all know
picked
I
that.
have a series
For
of
some
questions.
wacky ass shit like that.
Yeah,
That's
I have
exactly
a
what I
series
picked
of
up.
What if they said like Pong?
You could have said Pong, and you just like, oh yeah, wipe out Pong. Why shouldn't it exist?
Yeah, fuck Pong.
Without Pong, there is nothing.
To be fair, that is an honest argument.
Yeah. So tell us why your game should be erased from existence from the series.
And I'm going first, right? That's what Loveless chose.
Yep.
All right, so I'd like to just preference that we're talking about Skyrim, obviously a classic, legendary game. Now that that's out the way, I would say, thinking outside the box a little bit here, Bethesda should remove Skyrim from history because it gives them the opportunity to redeem themselves in modern day with their name, their image, and as a lifelong fan of their games, quite frankly, trust as gamers is going down the fucking shitter. So if they remove Skyrim from the history, from whatever games, backlisted, whatever you want to do, it gives them the opportunity to make a new Skyrim, to make people love Bethesda again, trust them when it comes to RPGs. And as gamers, we benefit from a more graphically advanced, more features and things of that nature. So yeah, I think it'll give Bethesda a chance to make something even better, but also redeem their current state.
All right, cool. Loveless, tell us why Sonic Unleashed should not exist.
Why should Sonic Unleashed not exist? Oh, I would be more than happy to tell you why Sonic Unleashed shouldn't exist, brother. So to start with, like we had just gotten done with, Sonic '06, which is supposed to, revitalize and revamp the reboot the franchise, and that didn't happen. It's one of the worst games ever made. And from this, from that, they decided, hey, we need to come up with a new formula. And these jackals chose to take Sonic in a direction where they remove his friends, remove the things that make him unique, and focus in on just solely Sonic. But not only that, you got rid of the whole platforming aspect. Instead, it's basically Temple Run with a button that makes you go slightly faster. You have to do level ups, which I didn't know you could level up Sonic to be fast. I thought he was just already fast, but that's neither here nor there. On top of that, he turns into a werehog, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, why does he even do that, bro? Like, come on, it's clunky and slow. And Sonic is supposed to be about speed. You can't do that. On top of that, the story is honestly kind of mid. They made Eggman into a and they made Eggman into a joke. Uh, they they made this whole world system where you have to collect all these medals, like sun and moon medals, that you have to go by exploring the level. Now, how are you supposed to explore a level when you're going fast? That doesn't make any sense. And I can just go on and on about how this game doesn't deserve to exist. But it's just without that, we wouldn't have had some of the terrible drought that we've had with Sonic. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you.
All right, cool. That sounds terrible.
um,
All right, so one mic, you can do one of two things. Um, you can boost your argument, or you can attack it, but you only can do one or the other.
I can't do both?
No.
Damn. I need a second to think. All right, I'm ready.
Which one are you gonna do?
Do I have to announce it?
Yes, you have to announce it.
I'm gonna boost.
All right. If we hear, so we're gonna give you 1 minute on the clock. If you move to either side of your argument, we will notify your time.
It'll stop?
Yeah, you'll stop. You'll get no time. So that means you will stop, and you'll get. That's how much you'll get left.
So I can't knock his whatsoever.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Starting. I'm doing it right here, Scott. Starting now.
All right. So I'm just asking for a little judge participation. Starting with you, Mac. On a scale of 1 to 10, how near and dear is Skyrim to your heart as a gamer?
I could give two less scale. Me not actually giving a single fuck, but there we go.
Got you. Scott, how about you? Scale of 1 to 10, how near and dear is Skyrim to your heart as a gamer?
Probably around like 5 or 6 for me. I've only played it once.
Got you. And how about you, Miss?
I'm assuming 1 is not so
Awful.
close. I'll give it a -10. Played it for like 5 minutes and never picked it up again.
Okay. So you're all familiar with it. You all essentially hate it or didn't like it or didn't care much for it.
I like the arrow to the D guy.
I'm just asking you to consider this, that it was somehow blacklisted and removed from your memories, and you got a chance to reset all that. And it was a whole new game. Think of the worst things, whether it's you, Miss, who didn't last fucking 2 minutes with it, or you, Scott, who played it, but it was like, yeah, not really, or you, Mac, who was like, what the fuck is this?
Time's up.
All of the reasons that led to that,
Time's
think
up.
if it could be somehow fixed.
Time's up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
time's up. Yeah, 1 minute. I said 1 minute. I'm sorry.
For the record, I did enjoy the game. I just it's not like one of the games that I'm like, oh, I
don't
rant
hate
and
the
rave
game.
about it.
And honestly,
I know a lot of
think
people put a lot of hours into it too.
I played so many of those types of games. I think when I got to Skyrim, I just got burnt.
I'm not saying I hate it. I just played it and I was like, it's fun. It's just not for me.
It's also the only one in the series that I've played.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer to play.
Oh, Trink says you're wearing my shirt, Scott.
I am. I had to represent.
Yeah, had to represent. Yeah. I have my cup in the other room. I actually would. I mean, damn it, Franny's gonna sit up here in the chat, start typing some shit probably. I prefer Baldur's Gate 3. I said it. Okay. Damn it. Anyway.
Of course, Baldur's Gate 3's peak. The update actually comes out tomorrow. That's actually what's crazy. With the new subclasses.
I actually understand that, Matt, for you, and I'm not even making fun of you. Like, the way you play games, Baldur's Gate would be more your speed than Skyrim.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the story of
Skyrim. It's just not my cup of tea.
So that's what my question was though. Like, imagine if Skyrim was erased and you got to play it again, but it was more like Baldur's Gate, or it was something new and refreshing for Mist, or it was something with a story, whatever Scott likes. That's where I was going.
I get that argument.
It had a second chance.
I get that argument. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, just imagine
Good
if it was
argument.
more like your speed, or like something like, something more story driven, like you like Mist, or whatever the fuck Scott likes.
If we were more like Tetris, I would be 100% on board.
Scott likes to make it like Tetris.
Building.
I will be.
If I could just
building.
It must be
blocks
Tetris.
into each other,
Shoot arrows
but
into
like on
bricks.
a dragon.
Oh boy, that's funny. All right, Loveless, what are you gonna do? You gonna tear down this argument, or are you gonna boost it?
Oh yeah, no. I want to boost it because this game is so like horrible. I need
All
to.
right. Wait a minute. I'm gonna give you time. You may start now.
You have to realize, you have to understand the amount of vitriol and hatred I have for this game, because it does so many things wrong. It trivializes the Chaos Emeralds. It trivializes the story and the direction that Sonic was going at. And even then, it's just another confused mess by Sega. Like, come on, we don't even know what is going on. Like, thank God they like ditched all of that for like a good 6 out of 10 like Lost Worlds. Not even for the bit where I'll say that game's good. But dude, it's such a terrible, awful experience. And it's like, if you're not into speed, if you don't have fast reaction times, if you don't like slowness, it has something for nobody. Literally, it has a part that everyone hates.
Tom, I gotta cut you off because you're gonna be just like me in a few minutes.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. You gotta brief. Okay. All right. So, like I always don't do no fact checking. We just wittily pick who we thought won. So, Miss, who you thought won?
I want to point out this hurt. I just want to point out that hurt a
I'm
lot.
going with Loveless because I will admit that with Skyrim, I at least played it. I actually have Sonic Unleashed and never touched it. I can look over to my left right now and look at it. I have never touched that game. And with Skyrim, I actually still have the strategy guide, and I at least played it. Right. So, gotta give it to Loveless.
Scott, why don't you just do fuck you back? I'm just gonna give it to you.
No, I think I also have to go with Loveless on this one, because like, I feel like Mike's main argument was that it could eventually be like remade better, which like is almost like negating the question a little bit, because it's like it's gonna come back in some way. Yeah. Whereas Loveless was like, there was a lot of stuff that he clearly hated about this game.
Yeah, clearly they're the worst parts. Obviously, yeah.
So I'm going with Loveless.
So for giggles, I mean, Loveless Yard wins. But here's the thing: this is gonna be a sweep because one mic is pretty much in the bathroom. But I want to say that. Oh, he's back. One mic. I just want to say this: the reason why I'm not going with you, my friend Corey maybe played Morrowind, and I actually had a fun time playing Morrowind. And I did play a little bit of Skyrim, and I played it, and it was fun for me. Their argument was just like, yeah, it's a good game, but it's just not good. It can be remade. Where, also, I have a friend named Eric Osmacher who will literally say he hates. There are certain Sonic games he hates. This is the one game he actually hates. He will say Sonic Unleashed is trash. I'm probably gonna tell him.
It is.
It
This
is.
is really getting away to my soul.
Sonic Unleashed is trash. He will like fight me on this. So If I say anything about it, it's like there's Sonic 06, Sonic Boom, and then he literally says Sonic Unleashed is just trash. He will argue that to the ground. So that's our resident Sonic fan. So I gotta go levelist on this one. So yeah, clean sweep. If I don't do that, like he literally will argue with me tomorrow about that. Like you picked Sonic Unleashed? No. So yeah, yeah. So.
I'm glad eating away at my very being at least netted a dub. Oh my gosh. Ugh. I hated that.
Yeah, I could have went with how you're gonna teach. Well, I had another question of, tell us how you would teach this in school, get people to teach this in schools.
Yeah, I should have chosen Mist.
That's the moral of the story with this show. When in doubt, choose me.
Yeah, but if
Yeah,
you
because
want
like I
chaos,
won, but did I?
well, when in doubt, pick Mist. When you want chaos, pick me. But if you want a Superman question, pick Freddy.
Oh, in the show. Don't make me mad at her again.
We love you, Freddy. All right, so, Loveless, you are going for I think it's your first time going to the finals.
Yeah, this is actually the first time.
First time going to the finals. So, congratulations, you're going to the finals for the first time. What you got to plug?
You can follow me at Loveless Gamer everywhere except Twitter and Instagram because I'm Unique Loveless G. I'm currently taking a break because I'm getting married and moving, so that.
Oh, congratulations!
Yes, appreciate it. So the next 2 months, I'm going to be dealing with that.
All right, man. Good
Congrats.
I'm happy for you.
Congrats, bro. That's beautiful.
Yeah, congrats.
I appreciate y'all.
When is the wedding day?
Yeah, I'm coming to Texas.
In May.
Huh?
It's sometime in May. We're doing like a real small project, but we
I seriously thought you said it was Sunday.
Yeah, I'm about to say, damn it, I can't come to Texas.
But
yeah, the actual big wedding is going to be later. We're just going to do a small ceremony.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Whenever the big wedding is, let me know. I'll try to sneak a ride to Texas.
Oh, I got. As soon as we know, y'all know. I got
try
you.
to get down there. Yeah. I definitely try to get way to Texas. All right, but congrats. One mic. You were here. You were almost there to PvP, but you fell short. What you got to plug, brother?
It's my Twitch, one mic, one game. Same for Twitter, one mic, one game, and YouTube. Streaming on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Now I'm beginning to some PS2 stuff, some retro stuff, some RPGs, wrestling games from back in time. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Scott, what you got to plug, man?
Find me and Mac on GF1 Play. This week, Mac is going to be playing something?
Warriors.
What'd you say?
Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors 5, right?
Yeah, I believe it's
Dynasty
5.
Warriors 5.
Yeah,
yes.
It should be 5. Let's put it like this. It's Dynasty Warrior. I don't know if it's 5. It could be 6.
Yes.
It's up there. So we're going to play Dynasty Warrior.
And then after that, I will be playing with Schedule 1.
Yeah!
We'll see how that goes. Because the last 2 games I played have not gone well for me.
You're like, she's so happy. Like, yes!
I am! Yes!
Yeah, Mac is not playing Dynasty Warrior. I want him to play something like that. So, Mist, what you got to plug?
I am plugging DTH Games. Chris, if you're there, please put the links in there because it's DTH Games on all social media. Some variation of it.
Okay. Anything else? Any?
And apparently I'm being kidnapped now.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway. If y'all know me, I'm Matt Hull. I am the leader of the Game Fixers, the leader of the
GF1 Studios. Make sure you come follow us. We got a lot of content. As Scott said, we are doing GF1 Play Wednesday we're doing GF1 Play Wednesday on Dynasty Warrior. Tuesday, we are doing, I forgot what it's called, but me and Eric will be playing, I forgot what it's called, but I'm playing Mega Man 3, he is playing Mega Man Battle Network 3, and it's sort of like a fun type of game play where we each play the game and we get items. It's fun. We're going to attempt it. I'm really trying to talk them to do it on a live stream of GF1 Play because it's so fun. If you really love to be do co-games and like this, join that stream. It's gonna be fun. It's a pre-tape show. Make sure you go watch it. Also, sorry guys, with me and Frog Guru were supposed to play. I know. Last Friday, me and Gumbo was supposed to play GTA, but I couldn't get in contact with him, so we have canceled that. But as far as me and Frog were supposed to play Baldur's Gate 3 this Thursday. That fell through because he wanted to push that out to next Thursday. So we're going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3 next Thursday. Get ready for that. Also, next Saturday, me and Franny will be playing a new game on Saturday. We're going to be playing it. It's going to be fun. Stay tuned for that. Get ready for that one. We're going to be playing that game. It's going to be fun. Also, this Saturday. Look out for
What's the new game?
You didn't say the name.
I can't remember what the game is called. You heard it? Was it? It's in my head. What's it called? Damn.
Oh, I know.
It's that new game. It's you said it, Scott.
I said it.
What?
No, it was on PlayStation.
I have some guesses.
What? It's on PlayStation 5. I forgot what it's called.
Oh,
Split
you guys
Fiction.
are playing Split Fiction.
Split
Yeah,
Fiction.
that's right.
That's what we're playing. Split Fiction.
There you go.
Yeah, we're playing Split
Yeah, I think Trink just mentioned it in the chat as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're playing Split Fiction. So yeah,
we are playing Split Fiction, so make sure you come see that. And Saturday, people. Saturday, it is Easter. This Friday is Good Friday. So this Saturday, we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be talking about. Candy! Easter candy, to be exact. We're going to be doing an Easter candy.
We're talking about resurrection.
Yeah, resurrection with candy. Easter candy. So, if you want to join us and tell us your tier list for Easter candy, join us. As we tear each other limb from limb talking about what jelly beans are the best. Is it Jolly Rancher Jolly Beans? Is it fucking Starburst Jolly Beans? I don't know, but we're going to talk about it, people. Except for the black Jolly Beans. Except for the black licorice Jelly Beans. Them things can burn in hell. Fuck them things. But anyway, guys, I think it's time for us to...
Oh, one quick thing. If you want to subscribe or follow us on DTH Games, our stuff is in the chat and it's also pinned.
Yeah, you should do that.
Hell yeah.
Alright. So, with that said, people, we must take our leave, people. This is it. We have to say goodbye. We'll see you on my birthday, April the 28th, for the last spot of the GF1, the last spot of the Gamer Grudge. We're gonna see Trill versus
Trill versus
Bryce.
Trill versus Lovely.
Trill's in a multiplicity situation.
Trill versus Bryce. We're gonna Trill versus Bryce the next episode. So make sure you come by and stop by and watch that episode. It's gonna be fun. All right, but guys, we gotta go. We'll see you next time on another episode of Gamer Grudge. Bye bye.
Adios.